The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Best Reviews. Our furry family members deserve the best, and with so many products on the market, how do you know what's best for your pup? Olivia Horton is standing by with top products for your favorite four-legged friends from consumer resource bestreviews.com.
There's nothing like the love that we receive from our furry family members, so why not make sure that you have the top products to show them that love back? Joining us now with the top trending must-haves for our four-legged friends is Senior Director of Content Operations at bestreviews.com, Jacob Palmer. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. You know, in 2020, everybody seemed to get their own dog, so we went over a lot of the basics then. Now we've got a few years removed, so let's level it up a little bit. Let's get them something that might not have been on the radar before.
Okay, I like that. And so many of us have our furry friends, our canine friends. But listen, all of our dog lovers got to start with something over here.
Yeah, and so this is another concept that I think blew up in 2020, which is the pet for your the gift for your dog. You know, when I was a kid, I don't think the dogs were getting a ton of gifts at that point. But nowadays, you know, they truly are a member of the family. And so this is from Sugar Wish. What we love about this is that it gives them a variety of treats. And so what's great here too is that it's not that expensive. It's only about $25, and it's great for all different kinds of holidays, no matter how you want to treat your dog to something special.
You got to get out of the doghouse and get back into his good graces. Maybe you can with this next toy here.
With the treat dispenser, and you know, it's great because it's from Nerf. You know, it's a brand that everybody recognizes. And now they're getting into the pet space with this treat dispenser, and you can also use it to feed your dog too. So if you want to put kibble in there as well, it can keep the dog entertained. So this is a great way to kind of scratch both those itches at once.
How does it work?
So you put it in there, and then it'll go through, and it'll dispense out depending on how the dog moves it around. So with that, it'll then come out from the door here.
And feed them the treat.
And then they'll get the treat. So they have to kind of like solve the puzzle themselves.
See, listen, our doggos, they are smarter than they lead us to believe, everybody. And one of those toys that you know they're going to go for is this one right here.
Well, so a lot of the things that we've been talking about and looking at is, you know, great for the dog. And we want to have one thing that's great for the dog owner, and that's what the Chuck It is. You know, it's not exactly the most novel product. I think you'll see them at every dog park in America at this point. But what's interesting about it is that you don't have to touch the gross ball. This is a great option because you can really huck this thing. There's a reason it's called the Chuck It, because it's not hard to chuck it at all.
Okay, perfect. So moving on from the Chuck It to, it looks like a nice bowl for our doggos.
And that's exactly what it is. It's a nice dog bowl, and it's funny because it's from Yeti, and it looks nice in the home, and it'll fit most aesthetics.
Yeah, I agree with that. It fits any aesthetic. Yeti often does. Okay, now moving on from the dog bowl, I don't even know what this is.
So this is from Arcadia Trail, and it's super interesting, especially for those dog owners that love to get outside. And you fill it about halfway with warmish water, so it's nice and comfortable. Dip the dog's paw in, it'll come out a lot cleaner than it was. And then it's also multifunctional because you can flip the whole thing inside out, and then if it's dry, it becomes a brush that you can then get some loose hair, you know, make sure during shedding season that it's not ruining your home. Yeah, so this is another dog brush, and what's interesting about this is that it's just so cheap, but it's effective, especially for those short and medium length dog coats.
Perfect. And we're gonna tip it off, or you know, tip everything off with this final product. I think this is gonna be really nice.
And this is another one where it's a whole category of pet products. So this is for their paws and their nose in case it gets dry. It's basically like a balm, a doggy chapstick, whatever you want to call it, that makes sure that if they're having issues with dry paws or dry snouts, you can be able to fix that for them. And it works in a bunch of different climates, and it's great for, you know, different dogs, especially as they get older. Some of those little kind of persistent issues can start to crop up.
Especially with their paws. Well, this is amazing for our canine friends. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Jacob.
And thanks so much for having me.
Of course. To learn more on any of these products and others, you can head to bestreviews.com or scan the QR code on your screen.
You can find more on these products and where to buy them by going to our website, kxan.com, and searching for Best Reviews. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Best Reviews, which is owned by our parent company, Nexstar.